ಹಾಯ್ ಹಲೋ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ 9 ಲೈವ್ ವಾಹಿನಿಯ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಾನು ಸಂಜನಾ ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಮಂಗಳವಡೆ. ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬರ್ತಿವೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಬಹುತೇಕ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಭಯ ಕಾಡುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ 9 ಲೈವ್ ವಾಹಿನಿ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಎಂಬ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಪ್ರಸಾರ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮೂಲಕ ವಿಷಯ ತಜ್ಞರ ಮೂಲಕ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ನೀಡಲಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧರಾಗಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಪಠ್ಯಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಭಾಗಗಳು ಯಾವುವು ಅನ್ನೋದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಆಯಾ ವಿಷಯ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಗಳೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರನ್ನು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಇವರು ವಿಜಯಶ್ರೀ ಹೊಸಮನಿ ಅಂತ. ಮೇಡಮ್, ತಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಬನ್ನಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವರ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ ಕೇಳೋಣ. ಮೇಡಮ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ ನಮ್ಮ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುವುದಾದರೆ.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ, I am Vijayshri Hosmani and I am a science teacher. My education qualification is BSc, B.Ed, M.Ed and I have been working since 10 years as a teacher and today I am here to help children with some of the tips which they can utilize in their exam.
ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಇದಾಯಿತು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅತಿಥಿಯ ಪರಿಚಯ. ಬನ್ನಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡೈಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸು, ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸು, ಲೆಸನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವಂತ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬನ್ನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳೋಣ.
So in science, basically it is been divided into physics, chemistry, biology. So here in physics there will be 25 marks and 4 chapters, and chemistry also there are 4 chapters and the marks allotted is 25 marks, and biology there are 4 chapters and the marks allotted is 25 marks, and there is one more chapter which is related to biology, and that is environment. So here the children can score, it is like a bonus for the children, I can say, wherein they can take those 5 marks easily because those questions will be related to the general topics which they have been learning through the form of activities from their primary level as well as which they are knowing, which are just related to the waste management, pollution and all. So totally this consists of the 80 marks mark scheming paper. And coming to the marks scheming in the science paper, it is being divided into 5 sections, that is section A, section B, section C, section D and section E. So in section A there will be 1 mark questions, that is 16 questions will be MCQ based and 4 questions of assertion and reasoning type. In section B, very short answer questions of 2 marks each, and section C, short answers of 3 marks, and section D, 5 marks long answers, and section E, case based study questions. So the children who want to score full marks, that is full 80 marks in science written paper, they have to mainly concentrate on the MCQ and case based study question because major twist will be here, and for this what they can do is they have to read the textbook. If they have read the textbook thoroughly and know what are the main scientific reasons and terms, then they can easily attempt these questions. In 2 marks, 3 marks and 5 marks questions also there will be twist, but few will be direct questions also. So this children should know before they are going to attempt the paper. Now coming to the marks scheming, so in the biology part I just want to discuss because mainly I am speaking today about biology paper itself. So now let us know the marks scheming given for the biology chapters. In life processes there are 1 mark 2 questions, 2 mark 2 questions, and 3 marks 1 question. So, totally 9 marks, and control and coordination, in that 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question, and totally 3 marks. How do organisms reproduce? In that 1 mark 1 question, 5 marks 1 question, so 6 marks. Then heredity, in that chapter 1 mark 3 questions and 4 marks 1 question, so 7. And in our environment 2 marks 1 question and 3 marks 1 question, so 5 marks. So, totally there will be 30 marks altogether. And here, as I have told, the mark scheming, this mark scheming can vary sometimes. So, if they have given for life processes 9 marks, they may make it to 7 also, and they may add these in control and coordination, and little they can change also. It is not always the same, they will be very specific with this only, little variations is there. So, this you can keep marks keeping for your reference instead of completely depending on that, but thorough learning of all the things should be done. Now, coming to the first chapter, life processes. In this we are going to learn about the process that is been happening with the plants and animals, like the nutrition, respiration, reproduction, transportation and excretion. So, once we take about life process, if we take the about the process of the nutrition, so all children will be knowing by this time. So, the nutrition, whatever the food is being intake, that is in the complex form. So, to make it into a simpler form, this digestion process is needed. So, once the food enters into the buccal cavity, the salivary glands secrete salivary juices, and then the food is being chewed and it is being sent to the esophagus. From the esophagus it goes into the stomach, and I usually take these terms to make children understand easily. That is, the stomach has two friends, one is the liver and one more is the pancreas. So, pancreas helps in giving the pancreatic juices to the stomach, and the liver helps in secreting the bile juice, and the liver is a little strict friend. Whenever its friend need the help, it gives. So, it stores this juice in the gallbladder and it is given to the stomach when it is needed, and stomach also secretes hydrochloric acid. So, these all play an important role. These terms you should know, wherein they help in simplifying the food into simpler form and help to digest it easily. Then the food goes into the small intestine, wherein we have the villi, the hair like structures which help in the absorption of the food which is being produced, and they have a very good movement of absorption and relaxation. And you should know this, the complete digestion takes place in the small intestine, because the questions are being asked, and then the extra food whatever is there, still what is remaining is sent to the large intestine, where large intestine helps in the absorption of the water and salt, and then the extra food which is been undigested, which is called to be the waste, is being sent to the rectum, and as a anus it is being excreted. So, like that, whenever you are learning, see to that, make some simple codings for yourself and learn them, so that you remember those terms easily instead of by-hearting and memorizing. Now, they also ask the questions related to the secretion of the juices, as I told about the liver, and they may ask even the functions of villi. So, children need to know these concepts clearly to attempt the questions correctly. Then coming to the control and coordination chapter. So, this is the nutrition diagram, wherein the processing is done of the digestion. So, throughout this, the functions should be known by the children, and mainly the secretion of the juices which help in the process of digestion, that children should know. In the next chapter, we have the control and coordination. In this, the main topics to be studied are the endocrine system, the reflex action arc, and plant hormones, and control and coordination in plants. So, mainly here the brain, human brain, that part you have to be very perfect, because there is going to be one question related to that, and in that we know the brain. So, the voluntary and involuntary actions takes place in human body, and the brain is being divided into the forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So, the cerebellum and cerebellum, these are the main part which you have to focus, because many times questions are being asked related to this. So, in cerebrum it does the voluntary actions. So, like if teacher asks you a question, you will raise your hand and then you answer. So, you are doing some voluntary work. Like that, the cerebellum, it does the involuntary actions. So, in cerebellum you have to know about the pons, medulla and cerebellum. So, this question was asked, what is the function of pons? So, for our survival we always need to breathe, yes. So, respiration is being done through the pons, and also if a person is alive, then that is his heartbeat is always running, yes, due to which he is being alive, that is been known. So, here the medulla is helping to count the heart rate, or it is helping in the function of the heart rate in the humans, and cerebellum is involved in the involuntary action and also in balancing the body. So, this question is being asked in 1 mark also, 2 marks also, and even they can give you the picture, ask to label the parts and tell their functions. So, you have to be thorough with this concept. So, here you can see this diagram and how I have been labeled this. So, based on this I will be able to easily answer the questions. Like that you have to prepare, then it will be good for you. Then even the reflex action. So, madam, I have one question for you.
Yeah, ma'am.
So, whenever you touch any hot object, what is your reaction?
I feel
Yes.
hot and
Yeah.
I'll means I do some action.
Yes, you do some action,
Shocking
or
action.
yeah, shocking. We may scream.
Yeah, scream.
Yeah. Yes. So, that is only the reflex arc. That is whenever you touch any object which is too hot, or it may be some can't even touch cold, too
Yeah,
cold
yeah.
objects also,
We'll
or
suddenly if we touch, we feel a shock.
yeah,
As if something happened to us.
yes,
Sometimes we scream. As an elder, we don't scream. If it was a child, it would scream.
Scream.
Not only.
So-
we control our feelings. That's
yes.
all.
So, that only is what we say as a reflex arc, wherein the sensory nerves sense that this object is hot, it is very cold, and that they give the message to the brain, and immediately we react to it by taking out our hands back, or we scream it, or somehow we will take out our response. So, that will become the response action. So, based on this, again they will be giving this picture and ask you to explain it, or they will give one situation and ask you to explain. So, that time what you can do, you can explain the terms using the specific terms about the response and how the sensory nerves help to do it, and then you can draw the diagram. You need not label all the things, but at least the important parts. So, coming to the hormones. So, in the hormones also we have the plant hormones which you need to study, and again you have the hormones that are released into the human body. So, in that, talking about the thyroid gland. So, it is responsible for secreting the hormone thyroxine. So, what all suggest that in our diet we have to have good amount of iodine. So why is a question again. So iodine helps in producing or secreting the thyroxine hormone. So you should be knowing that. So if it goes down, then we will be having the issues related to thyroid. Then coming about the pituitary gland, it helps in secreting the growth hormones as well as sex hormones. This question also is being asked repeatedly. So like that, there is a table given in your textbook regarding the hormones about plants and animals. Please be thorough with it, because again you will be getting 1 mark questions from that.
ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಿರಾಮ, ವಿರಾಮದ ನಂತರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋಣ.
ನೀವು ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಲೇಬೇಕಾದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು, ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳು, ಸಖತ್ ಮನರಂಜನೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಜನಪ್ರಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಹಿನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ದಿನನಿತ್ಯದ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಸುದ್ದಿ ವಾಹಿನಿ 9 ಲೈವ್. ಇದು ಸತ್ಯದ ಪ್ರತಿರೂಪ. 9 ಲೈವ್ ವಾಹಿನಿ ಇದೀಗ ಹ್ಯಾಥ್ವೇ ಕೇಬಲ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ 132ರಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಬಹುದು. 9 ಲೈವ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಇದೀಗ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾಗಳಾದ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್, ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ರಾಂನಲ್ಲೂ ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಬಹುದು. ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ 9 ಲೈವ್ ವಾಹಿನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಭಿನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ಅನಾವರಣ. ರುಚಿ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಹವ್ಯಾಸ ನಿಮ್ಮದಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒದಗಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅದ್ಭುತ ವೇದಿಕೆ. ಹೊಸ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಹವ್ಯಾಸ ಹೊಂದಿದ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ರುಚಿ ಶುಚಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಆಸಕ್ತ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ಕೂಡಲೇ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ 8278339999.
ವಿರಾಮದ ನಂತರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋಣ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ. ಮೇಡಮ್, you explained in such a way that sitting here I came to know which part is how it is working, which part is how much important, and what is the work of each and every part of brain or digestive system, or about hormones, even about thyroid you explained. It was good information, ma'am. Carry on with the next explanation for our kids.
Okay. So next chapter is how do organisms reproduce. Again, one of the very important chapter in biology wherein you can score very well. But only thing is, in this chapter you will understand the process throughout, because you have been studying it from previous years itself. Only thing is, here you have to be particular with the scientific terms which are being given. That will help you to score. So coming to that chapter, we have asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So in asexual reproduction, you have to know the types. So in 5 marks a question can be given that about the types. Here they will not give you the direct question to explain what is asexual reproduction and mention its type. They will give you the types of asexual reproduction, or they will give you pictures and they will say you to identify and then explain about it. So little indirectly twisted questions will be there, that you should understand mainly. So here when it comes in asexual reproduction, regeneration questions are being asked. About fragmentation it is been asked. Then in fragmentation they have given the spirogyra diagram and asked you to label it and write what all goes into that process. Then next vegetative propagation. So when they have given about spirogyra, this time they may give vegetative propagation to make it a bit change in the paper, but something related to asexual reproduction is going to be given as a question. Then one question was there, like which type of reproduction does rhizopus undergoes? So the answer is asexual reproduction. First what would happen, you would define it, you would give examples. Here what they will give, they will give you example and ask you the process. So little you should be careful while answering. Then coming to the sexual reproduction, here important and a fixed question in your paper this year, that is they may give about the male reproductive part or female reproductive part and ask questions related to that, or even diagram and labeling and functions as well. So, one question is, what is scrotum? So, it is the one which helps to maintain the temperature of the testis. You will be knowing about the testis, it helps in producing the sperms, but this you might have neglected. So, do not do like that, every part is important. So, be thorough with it. Then next question, what is cervix? So, you should know first where it is, then easily you can answer. So, cervix, it is a layer between the uterus and the vagina. So, there is one small layer that is called as cervix. In diagram you might have seen it n number of times, but you should learn the diagrams in such a way that, because these questions will be asked. Every small part will be a twist question in MCQ or in case based study. So, only I am telling, be thorough with the diagrams. And where it comes, it is present in the female reproductive part. So, this you should be having one knowledge about it. So, you have to study those parts whenever you are studying, learn to study in detail and connect the things and learn, then it will be easy. Then name the site of fertilization. So, you will be knowing all the process of fertilization, that is the male gamete comes and fuses with the female gamete, then it forms a zygote and the egg gets fertilized. So, the next question is, name the site of fertilization. So, you will be knowing about fertilization process, that is the male gamete comes and fuses with the female gamete, and when both the gametes fuse they form a zygote. But what is the twist now? They are asking you, name the site of fertilization. So, you should know that it happens in the fallopian tube at the edge and or oviduct, both are the correct answers. So, like that you have to remember, recall and then answer the question. So, the next chapter is about a heredity and evolution. Earlier it was, now it is only heredity for the new syllabi. So, in this chapter you have to know about the law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. So, these three laws are very, very important and there is going to be one fixed question for 100%. So, do not neglect, and in the textbook they have been given it they have gone explaining, you make it into parts and learn, then it will be easy for you. But in these three laws, one question is going to be there for 100%. Then the next part is about the sex determination, about the baby, how it is been done, and then speciation and evolutionary genetics. Again in evolutionary genetics also there are been questions asked. So, this question is related to the monohybrid cross section of the pea plant. So, they may give the diagram and ask questions regarding this, or they may ask you to explain. So, you should know to draw and assemble this, that should be done. So, again here plant ratio questions are being asked often, and genotypic ratio, then haploid and diploid, that is the cells which contain only one set of chromosome are called as haploid and two sets of chromosome are diploid. So, you will be knowing about chromosomes and haploid, diploid, diploid, double. So, like that also you can think little and write in the exam. If you are getting confused, recall what terms are there and what meaning they give, based on that also you can write the answers. And then about the sex determination, that is about the X chromosomes and Y chromosomes. So, XX if the chromosomes are there in a child, then it is a girl baby, and if XY is there, then it is a boy baby. So, like that the sex determination is being done through the chromosomes, that based on that the questions will be asked. So, be thorough with these concepts. And then coming to our environment chapter. So, as I told at the beginning, it has some general questions which are going in our day to day life in the environment, and they are based on the ecosystem, food chain, food web. So, they can give the food chain and ask to fill in the middle which all species come, or they may ask you about the definition and ask you to give the examples. So, if they may ask if the chain gets breaked, then what happens, what are the consequences, such questions will be asked. Then pollution and its consequences, you will be knowing all types of pollutions from your lower class, you will be studying. So, based on that they will ask questions and ask you the consequences and what all steps should be taken as an individual, and what are the new techniques of conserving this, these are being mainly asked. Then coming to waste management, how the segregation of waste is done and what all techniques are being utilized nowadays, and how it is helping the environment. So, based on this they will be asking, they may ask about the biodegradable, non-biodegradable wastes and all. So, you should put the specific terms and answer here also. Even we say it is a bonus chapter, but specific terms if you put only, it is going to help you people. You should again not neglect by just roughly tell I know this concept when teacher has taught. You have to read the chapter. You read it once, twice or thrice, and once you are feeling that the terms they have went into your mind, then easily you can write the answers there. So, if it is a bonus chapter, it does not mean that it should be neglected, but you have to become perfect in that, because easily you can take the marks. So, why you want to leave it? Just grasp it by reading the chapter, making the terms which all are there perfect into your mind, and then you can write the answers. So, this is all about the 5 chapters which are there, and the important concepts I have been told. So, see to that you do not neglect it, but revise it, recall it and write it. And I have also made a points about the important diagrams which you have to be perfect by the end of this month, so that you can take more marks in biology. So, it will be displayed one by one, chapter wise I have given it. You can see here I have made these diagrams and labeling. So, like that in biology what you should do, daily you choose one diagram, that is more than enough. Still, even though we are saying the exams are nearby, still you can keep your mind calm and work to score good. It is not that still there is no time, because we have 24 hours in a day, and that you can still utilize by making some concepts as relaxation. So, whenever you are studying some subject, in between you want a break. So, take it and just one diagram you do for one day, that is more than enough. So, here I have done about the human digestive system, I have done the labelings. So, what you can do here now, when you are studying, I am telling, give some colors for some part. So, while in exam when you are writing, you will remember that color coding of yours and easily you can label. And even I have done this heart diagram and how the blood circulation takes place. If you just go on labeling and seeing the diagram again and again, the things will recall in the exam. So, try to practice this habit in your study routine. If you all have started already, it is very good. Who have not started, try doing this. So, like that, even you have the pictures of all the diagrams. So, you have to go through this, and you have to at least display it near your study table. So, often once you are seeing also, few when you glance also, you will recall them during your exams. So, now I will tell about one question that is asked, why valves of left atrium are thin and left ventricle valves are thick. So, this is one question asked, and it can be asked again. So, you should be perfect with all the four chambers of the heart and how the transportation of the blood takes place, or the circulation what we say. So, we will assume that the blood which is so the deoxygenated blood from the heart, it will be sent to the lungs, and the pulmonary veins will carry the blood, and it is being sent to the left atrium. So, now the blood is going into the left atrium. So, when it goes to the left atrium, we saw that the left atrium was thin because it was seeping the blood. So, the left atrium was thin and it was seeping the blood, and we can give, now it is the left ventricle. So, they told us left ventricle is thick. Yes, because here also little the pumping of the blood is being done, and then it pushes. So, the left ventricle pushes the blood upwards, where? To the aorta. So, what happens? It should be large for the compression and relaxation, and for the pumping this left ventricle is large, so that it will push the blood to the aorta, and from the aorta it goes to the all the parts of the body. So, like that, learn the concepts easily while studying. Do not make it complicated, do not behead the things, try to relate to something and learn. Then what happens? Your learning becomes very easy and you feel interesting. That I want to tell through this one small activity. So, I have discussed about the human digestive system and brain, even respiration. So, in that also they are going to ask questions on the alveoli. You should know the functions, and you should be thorough. Then next about the parts of flower. So, parts you will be knowing. They may ask you to label, then it is very good for you. You will get again a bonus point, I can say, because you will be learning it from your primary mid school itself. So, you know about the parts of a flower very nicely. So, you can write it. If they ask a pollination, you need to explain again, and then this is again very important concept, that is the structure of nephron and its functions. So, again you can accept one question from this for sure. So, please be thorough with this concept. So, like that, the other diagrams, important diagrams will be displayed for you, which I have made a chart and given for reference of yours. Okay, now I have chosen two questions in biology question paper which will be asked, and one which is already asked, so that children know how to answer these questions to score well. So, how toppers write the answers and how they are getting full marks, and some children will be having this doubt, that is, I have written but I have not got marks. So, for that purpose I have written these answers. So, if you write in this way, for 100% even you are going to get full marks. So, that is state the role played by the following in the process of digestion, that is the enzyme trypsin, enzyme lipase. Then B question is list two functions of finger like projections present in the small intestine. So, the first answer is enzyme trypsin helps in the digestion of proteins into amino acids. So, here you have to underline proteins and it converts into amino acids. So, what the examiner will be waiting for this? they want you to write that specific term, and if you underline with the pencil or a pen, it is okay. So, it will be easy for them to know that the child has written the specific scientific terms what is needed in the answer. Similarly, enzyme lipase helps in digestion of fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Thus, both trypsin and lipase are secreted by which organ? That is the pancreas into the small intestine. So, once you write the answer start to the end, you have given the specific statement for that answer. So, it will be absolutely right. Then the second question what they did? They didn't directly ask what are the function of villi. What they did? They gave you the question as list two functions of finger like projections present in the small intestine or thread like structures, both mean the same. So, it is villi, that you should know which it is. Then you can write villi, you know now already, you will be studying it from past few months. So, you know that the finger like projections present in the small intestine are called. You should make the examiner understand that you have identified the part which it is, that is villi, and their functions are as follows. So, villi increase the surface of absorption of the digested food, and villi they are richly supplied with the blood vessels which transport the absorbed food to each and every part of the cell into the body, where it is used for the growth, development and the repair of the body. Then next, it helps in the supply of the energy from the food to the cell. So, when the cells get the food, then only they are active. So, if villi is there, then the smooth functioning of the cells takes place in the body. So, like that you can conclude your answer, and again as I told, whatever important terms are there, just underline them with a pencil or the pen which you have used itself. Do not use any other colors, pens and all. Then the next question which I am solving is from your sample paper which is been given here. So, this question's answer I am going to tell how you can answer, because here long answers means we have one mindset that there will be long answers, that is we are going to explain, describe in and write in detail. Yes, even that is a part, but sometimes in 10th board exams they are giving sub questions and making it a 5 marks question. So, that time you have to analyze, you have to apply and write. So, I am going to solve this question now. So, this is the answer part. So, the first question is name two substances that move through the blood vessels. So, the answer is nutrients, glucose you can write, or you can even write oxygen, because oxygen also goes into the blood vessels, and also even the waste also goes. So, if you know what are the substances which go through the blood vessels, any two you can write and finish the answer. So, name they have given, you need not again make the sentence, you should just name it and finish the answer, because even time management is important. Then second, if the placenta has less villi, how will it affect the baby's growth? So, here what happens, as the surface area is less, so it will be difficult to pass the nutrients, yes, such as glucose, oxygen from the mother to the embryo. So, therefore, it slows the growth of the baby, that you should answer. So, for this what you should know? One simple, what is placenta, where it is. So, placenta is the connection between the mother and the baby, and it helps in providing the nutrients to the baby. So, if you know this about the function of placenta, easily you can crack this question. Next, third one, name the region where the embryo develops inside the female body. Explain how this region is adapted for nourishing the baby. So, where the baby, the zygote, where it develops, you will be knowing it, that is the uterus. So, here what they did, they asked twist, that is name the region where the embryo develops. So, embryo also, if the zygote is there, it turns to an embryo. So, uterus will be the answer. So, uterus, as it has a thick lining with a rich blood supply, so it will help in nourishing the embryo. So, only embryo gets developed in the uterus. Then fourth question, it is some of the fetal cells fall off into the amniotic fluid and can be collected by careful procedure. The cells were screened and found to contain XY chromosomes. So, I have told about the chromosome. So, the question is here again, what is the sex of the fetus? So, XY chromosome. So, it will be a male child. Then next, how is the parental sex determination misused? So, here you can, it is a free hit question, no, because how it is misleading, you can write in general and you will get 1 mark here. That is, it can be misused as if the fetus is a female. Some people may engage in aborting the child, and this may lead to female folicide. So, female folicide, again scientific term. So, again they come to know that the child has thoroughly understood the concept and written. So, like this you can calmly solve the questions, but what is understanding the question is important. So, why I choose to give these two? Because biology, it is easy for children, because they understand, because the process what is happening, it is related to the plants and animals, and here what is happening, where you are losing marks sometimes in the understanding of the question. So, instead of asking you the direct questions, they ask you in indirect way, but the answer remains the same. So, now what is the thing what you have to concentrate? You will be knowing the concepts by this time, and you can revise it, recollect it and solve question papers. When you solve question papers, you come to know the types of questions, how they are twisted for the simple concepts itself, and ask. That time easily you can score good in biology. So, along with this, the other things what you need to concentrate are, you have to be perfect with the diagram. So, you learn to label it again and again, so that you will remember, along with that functions of that. So, if you do this in one diagram, if you do all these three, that is diagram, label and functioning, once concept is over and it is completed fast. Then next, you use scientific terms and write the paper. So, what happens, the weightage of your paper will be good, and day to day studying is needed, and you do it by dividing your time, so that it is easy for you to score. Now, again you might be having questions, only 30 days are remaining, still you can score in biology full marks, I can say. That is 15 days you can take to read the concepts again, because it is been explained, it is somewhere in your mind, it is been stored. You have to again recall the things and make your mind active. So, you can study again 15 days, you do only concept learning. After 15 days, start solving question paper. If you solve 5 question papers also, you can easily crack the questions in biology. So, this was what I wanted to convey the students regarding the concept of biology, and some detail what they need for their exams. Apart from this, if you have any questions, you can ask. I think children should not do that, because what happens if they go to color, no, sometimes what happens, the time is less for them in board exam, and one more is the colors may spread and anything can happen. Marks will be given, and coloring when it is good for primary level, now it is not needed, because they need to be, how much paper is neat and clear, that much the examiner feels good to correct it. So children in this hurry burry, they may not do the neatness when they choose colors and all, but while studying they can do,
No,
so that
studying, so you
they
told
can
that is
recall.
an knack to remember
Knack,
the labelings.
Yes.
That is correct. Now, Miss, while writing exams, no need of using color pencils.
Yes.
Or color anything.
And
colorful.
one more thing, nice you asked this question, it's good. Children draw rough diagrams.
Yeah.
Don't do this mistake. You have now, if you are attempting the question related to diagram, draw it nicely. So to do that you need practice, so
Yeah,
that
because everybody may be not good in drawing.
Drawing,
So that is the main important thing.
but madam, here what happens, they will not ask them, the children should draw it perfect.
Perfectly. But
They want at least the identification of parts
yeah,
is
that
done is
important.
enough.
Okay.
So children need not get afraid and neglect this part. So use pointed pencil, draw nicely as much as you can. Don't leave attempting that. Attempt the question of diagrams and draw how much you know and label them correctly. If they point out the correct part also, they will get marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they have time, they can lightly shade, but also it's okay.
Okay.
If the diagram is clear and the parts are accurate, then they will get the marks.
Yeah, good. And this was only one doubt
Yeah.
which I had, because you have explained in such a nice way that no need of any questions or any confusion here. It was very
Okay.
good with you, ma'am, and
Thank
you
you.
for coming here, sparing your time and explaining in such a detailed form to our kids. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I thank you, madam, for
Thank you very much,
giving
ma'am.
this opportunity, and 9 Live also, because through this I feel many children can utilize this and it will be helpful. So thank you very much. Finally, what I would like to convey a message to you all students is that, so whenever you are attempting the paper, it may be any, it may be science or any other papers you are going, go with a positive mindset. And when you take the question paper, give auto suggestion to yourself that this paper is easy and I will attempt it. And then which part you feel you are good in. Now if I take about science, some children might be good in physics, some chemistry, biology. So which section you are good, as you have solved the papers, you know it. So first read those questions, so you feel happy and relaxed. So that also comes in biology only, making your mind relax, and then when you go to attempt anything, you feel a positive attitude towards while writing the paper. And then time management is important. So answer the questions which you know perfectly first, and then you can sit little and think about the other answers which you have as a doubt. Then next is, don't write general answers, especially in science paper. Use scientific terms, because you are in 10th standard, by this level you will be knowing them. So use them, it gives more weightage to your paper. And attempt all the questions. Don't leave any question, because some can be as grace by chance, and some because you have attempted, somewhere it might be near to your answer and you may get the marks. But when you are attempting MCQ and case based study, because in case based study they will give you the paragraph and ask the questions related to that. The answer will not be hidden in it, related to that. So little you read the paragraph once or twice and then you attempt the questions. So if you follow these all things, I think so you will be giving your best in your all the papers. So please do that, because you will never get this chance of attempting the board exams again in your life. So as a children, more than your parents telling you, your teachers telling you, you yourself should feel to study, and you have to attempt the paper very nicely. You have to put it to your mind. Study for yourself, study for your growth, study for your good career, so that you can achieve something what you want in your life. And this is the first step wherein you can prove yourself, which you have been putting the efforts, struggles, hard work, smart work from so many years in your school life. So I wish all the children who are going to attempt their board exams very soon all the best, and God bless you all. Thank you so much.
ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಇದಾಯಿತು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿಶೇಷ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಅತಿಥಿಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹಾಜರಾಗುತ್ತೇನೆ. ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸುತ್ತೀರಿ 9 ಲೈವ್. ಇದು ಸತ್ಯದ ಪ್ರತಿರೂಪ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.